Buffmetal back with another video. What is going on, guys? The subject of today's rant shall be the sleaziest, most X-rated albums I have recently added to my collection. Now, the first few I'm going to show off are just some extreme metal albums. You know, nothing too crazy. My wife got me a bunch of these for my B-Day a couple of days ago, man. I've been taking some time off, just hanging out, and yeah, we're going to Salem today, so I'm going to be vlogging that, and hopefully I'll have a good video, another episode of Road Killing, you know, where I go around and do like vlog style series. But here are the albums she got me, you know, and there's some real bangers in here. I ordered a couple of these myself. I think, yeah, the real nasty ones, or the nastiest one in this stack I ordered myself, you know, just because it's on Hells right now, I think, and I would, if you're into them, I highly advise you to get a copy. So without further ado, let's get into the list of albums that I got for my B-Day. Some nasty, sleazy, dirty death metal coming in first with Blood Freak. Here we go. Sleaze Merchants. I mean, what a fitting title of an album for this video, you know? This is phenomenal stuff, dude. You know, this is gore grind. It's definitely in that vein, you know, for people who are a fan of like Hemorrhage, maybe Impetigo, Impetigo, however the fuck you say it. Yeah, man, it's absolutely awesome. There's a lot of great samples and stuff on here. It's also just a really cool pressing, you know. This has like the story of how this all kind of came to be, and there's one story in here that I really love, man, where basically the guy behind Blood Freak, he talks about it a bit in here, but basically the guy behind who made this couldn't come up with $500 for the album cover, and he went outside and there was a wallet sitting on the ground with $500 in it, and he said, whoa, you know, picked up the wallet, took the cash, and just took it as like a sign from the universe that this album was his to make. And, you know, I do believe in stuff like that, you know, the trippy, you know, things in life. Sometimes life is a little more esoteric and mystical than you think it might be. And I think stories like that prove it. But regardless, man, phenomenal album, Blood Freak, Sleaze Merchants. If you like that B-grade, I don't know why I'm blanking on like what albums this would really be a lot like. If you like Frightmare, you know, I know those albums are coming out, and some stuff like that grindy, gory, but also groovy, like gore grind, death metal, you know, that's what you're gonna find here on Blood Freak. And I don't see a lot of people talking about that album, so I'd like to see it out in the ether more, hence why I talked about it here today. Next up, we get a CD from one of the sleaziest BDM bands out there. This was their, I think, comeback CD or whatever. But, you know, I've really wanted to own something by this band for a while now, and I finally do. We have Gorgasm, Destined to Violate. Doesn't get sleazier than that for a band name, you know what I'm saying? But goddamn, dude, do I love this album. This has so many bangers on it, dude. Carnivore, Funeral Gangbang, you know, like Lubricated and Vomit. So the song titles, dude, are just unreal. But like, dude, banger after banger after banger on here. It's just, I don't know, man. This is one of those bands that like, some days I'll have days where I just listen to the whole, or at least most of the Gorgasm discography when I'm at work, because their leads, their technical abilities mixed with just the atmosphere and vibe of their albums are absolutely phenomenal, man. And, you know, I am not, like I always say, man, I am not the biggest BDM guy. Look at the CD's not even in there because it's in the player. Oops. But this is just one of those bands I think that transcends just being another BDM band and really is something special. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing quite like Gorgasm. And, yeah, if you never checked out any of their stuff, Destined to Violate might be a good place to start, especially with like Cunt Killer and stuff on here, which is one of their best songs maybe ever. But Bleeding Profusely, man, what I would do to get a copy of that, you know. And some of the other stuff. I actually just ordered one of their other albums. Fuck, why can't I remember the name? Doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, man, Gorgasm, go check it out. Next up, one of those shocking, you know, one of the, another Hell's Headbanger release here. You know, I'm obviously a big fan of everything that they do, and my wife got me Hate Plow for my birthday. You know, I wanted this one. It's funny because like I initially was like, I'm not gonna buy these on my own, but I figured it would be a nice thing to get for my birthday. Like I don't know, like I don't know why I wasn't sold on the Hate Plow at first, you know. I guess it was because, like, I'm not, you know, it was sold as grind, and I'm not really much of a grind guy, right? But, like, dude, the riffage on this. You got Rob Barrett from Cannibal Corpse on here. Dude, you know, we got Malevolent, a lot of Malevolent creation. I don't know if there's other Malevolent guys on here, but regardless, dude, like, I'm so bad with, like, you know, the nerd stuff. That's simply not my forte. But I can tell you about the riffs, and the riffs are killer, man. This is a really fun album to listen to. I've been listening to this and the other one. Again, I'm blanking on shit today. Forgive me, guys. But Everybody Dies, yeah, is the other one. Yeah, I've been listening to the two of these, man. Kind of either at work and at home, and dude, they're just so good, so riff filled, so catchy, so like angry and like kind of funny too. It's like everything you'd want a grind album to be. I think you can find on these Hate Plow records. So yeah, man, if you haven't checked these out, highly recommend you do. I would recommend you grab a copy as well too, man, because they are like a lot of fun to listen to. Definitely one of those bands that I'm like, yeah, I like having that in the collection. It stands out as its own thing, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like Blood Freak, you know. But all right, man, let's get into the real sleaze. Let's get into the X-rated. Let's get nasty here. We're gonna start with this. Yeah, it's kind of tough to choose where to start, but I guess we will start with my man. I've been talking about him for a while now. I want to do a whole video on him alone, but El Duce, baby. Yeah, man, we got Elden Hoke here. This is one of the sleaziest, nastiest albums, you know. So this to me, as far as the El Duce's music goes, this is like if you guys are familiar with the Manny tapes by the Misfits, this is like the Manny tapes of El Duce, where it's like a collection of songs that like were done, I don't want to say half-assed or anything like that, because they're not, but they're done like kind of like lo-fi is hard to say too, because it's like the whole Mentors El Duce thing is kind of lo-fi. I guess the Mentors weren't really, but regardless, man, you got so many funny songs on here, so many catchy ass, funny ass songs. You got Lay in the Pipe, King of Sodom, When You're Down, Penitentiary, Last Lover of the Night, Sneak Away from Your Man, Shit Packin' Daddy, Stinky Lover, and I Want to Ball Your Daughter is just some of the tracks on here, man. And it is absolutely phenomenal. El Duce is really coming to the forefront of artists who I'm kind of obsessed with, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe there were these freak characters who, dude, just don't really exist today, you know? There isn't El Duces or GGs or Seth Putnams running around, you know? And, dude, I think there's something really special about those characters, and this record also is extremely cool. One, you got the white vinyl here, very nice, but two, one of my favorite things about it is Dr. Heathen Scum, a bass player. I think he makes these, right? I think I was getting that vibe as I was as I was going through it. But dude, right on it's just right here on a computer paper. There's like a bunch of the stories behind the songs and stuff like that, and you can kind of read with it. And you know, Heathen Scum kind of talks about just like his times recording these with El Duce and stuff like that. Dude, it's really, really cool. Like, for example, Stinky Lover, he writes, from my home studio, inspired probably by one of our roadies who had a hell of a perspiration odor problem. You could shower the guy and wash his clothes and he still stunk. You know, like, you get all these funny little El Duce tales, you know, and these little blurbs about the songs, you know, that they had written and why they wrote them the way they did, or the joke that is behind them, you know. And I think it's just so cool, man. It's kind of like ultimate collector piece, in my opinion, as far as like El Duce crap goes. So if you're into the Mentors, if you're in El Duce, it's funny. I used to have a Mentors tape, and I want to say it was either Up the Dose or shit. What's the other one? God, today is not my day for remembering stuff. But I don't know if it was I don't think it was Over the Top. I'm not sure. Regardless, I used to have one of the Mentors albums on tape when I was a kid. I say a kid, probably like early 20s, you know, 30 now, baby. But way back in the day, I had one, and I was always bummed because a few songs worked on it, but a few didn't, you know. And I remember being like, the fuck, I really want to get into these guys, and I had that one tape, but that was kind of it. And it's funny, all these years later, getting back to the Mentors and El Duce and stuff like that, and having a blast, you know, kind of just going down the rabbit hole with it. I highly recommend you check it out, man. It doesn't really get sleazier than El Duce. Besides this next band, which is now officially probably the most X-rated band I know, the nastiest, most bad-natured. I actually think I have to, I don't know if I can show, you know, like parts of this. I'm just going to have to show you what I think I can. And this is a split between the Mighty AC and the Raunchous Brothers, all right? This, along with El Duce, these are the most X-rated albums that I can really fathom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it gets more raunchy than the Raunchous Brothers, all right? The Raunchous Brothers, if you haven't heard of them, are really probably the most hateful band of all time. They are the most disturbing as far as, like, you know, just saying things that you simply can't say goes, you know. I know the Mentors and El Duce, they're kind of, like, I don't even know if this matters, me holding this 666 thing over the little skulls, but, like, I don't know. I just don't want my YouTube taken down, long story short. But if you don't know the split, I can't even show you the back, but it is some of the wildest music. Some of the wildest music you will ever hear. Yeah, I'm going to put it down just because I don't want to get this video taken off. I showed it as much as I could, you know. The Raunchous Brothers, I just suggest you look them up and you figure it out for yourself. But I got to say, if you get the mind for it, if you can tolerate the pure hate and the pure nastiness that is that band, it's like the the furthest expression of, you know, the GG and the AC and the, you know, Mentors thing. I think the Raunchous Brothers might be the furthest expression of that and the most severe and extreme. If you can handle that and you can find a way to laugh about it, the music is phenomenal, man. This shit cracks me up, dude. There's one song on there specifically I've been addicted to, Put It in Bear, which is just an anthem, dude. It's just such a funny ass song, dude. And yeah, it's funny. There's a great interview, and I think they put it on one of their albums, but Howard Stern does like a review of some of their tracks, and you can find that on YouTube, man, and it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the Raunchous Brothers, definitely do so. And the split with the Mighty AC, Anal Cunt, is phenomenal, man. It's a 10 out of 10 split because you get some of the best AC stuff on there. I went back in time and I voted for, you know, is one of their track titles, which is, you know, you can fill in the blank if you know the AC. It's hilarious, man. There's a lot of wicked funny songs on there. There's a cover of Say, 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 Seth Putnam does, you know, by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Where, yeah, it's just hilarious, man. So I think you could enjoy it if you have the right mind for it. And if the split is still by freak chance available on Hells, go get it, because, dude, that's a serious collector's piece. Same with the El Duce, man. If you have any kind of affinity towards, you know, El Duce, I would go get it. And by the way, the coolest thing, is that on the back of the split, it says, yeah, again, which I can't show you, but of the Raunchous Brothers AC split, there is a shout out to Eldon Hoke, aka El Duce. It says, "Rest in peace, Eldon Hoke," you know, and I thought that was cool. Kind of brought my recent picks full circle. So anyways, guys, that's it. Get ready for that video on Salem that I'll be making. And in the meantime, friggin' rock on.